This week I fly to rural Malaysia and sit in the back of an open-sided truck and reverse across a rickety wooden bridge. Hello on a very early morning in Kuching's domestic departures terminal here at Kuching Airport. Today we're flying with an airline called MASWINGS, which is the successor to the British colonial Borneo Airways airline, which provides the rural air service across Borneo, connecting the cities of Kuching and Kota Kinabalu to rural villages and rainforest communities. We are going to be flying on an ATR-72 500. They also have twin otters as well. We'll be taking a 1 hour 45 minute flight from here in Kuching to the heart of the Gunung Mulu National Park, which is close to the border with Brunei. Subscribe to see the video next week where we explore the world's largest cave system in Mulu, and hopefully we don't get lost. So I checked in last night, went through security here at the airport. The scanner beeped a couple of times, but nobody was bothered. They just waved everyone through. I didn't have to take anything out of my bags. There's no liquid requirements being enforced. So let's wait here for the plane to arrive. I don't think the gate has been announced yet. We've still got another hour and a half wait. And then we will get on our way to Mulu. And I will take you on board with me, see what it's like flying the rural air service here in Borneo, and then we will arrive in Mulu and we have a really special accommodation that we are staying at tonight for the next couple of nights. So I'll give you a tour of that accommodation and we will spend some time in Mulu. So until we board, I think I'm going to get a drink and then wait for the plane to arrive. So I am about to board the flight to Mulu. We're just waiting in a holding area for the moment while they unload the luggage from the previous flight. This is the plane that we'll be flying on. It's an ATR-72 today. It's just arrived in from Miri, which is the main town close to Mulu, but close is like 6 hours by road, I think. So it's close by rural Malaysian standards. So we're just waiting. We'll get on board soon, and then we'll be on our way to the rural caves of Mulu. around the seat on this ATR-72. There's plenty of leg room. There's a tray table. An advertisement for Borneo travel packages. And a safety card. A laminated safety card. It's fine for a regional flight in Malaysia to the rainforests and rural villages. You don't really need a Q suite to fly within Borneo, do you really? So this seat's fine, it's quite comfortable, lots of leg room. The staff are so-so, but I've found that a lot with airline staff in this part of the world. They're either really friendly or they don't want to engage with you. But that's fine, we're only on here for a short flight. So chicken mayo sandwich has just been served. There was no option for anything else. But I guess on a short flight like this, it's good to be offered something, even if I don't eat chicken and I can't eat the bread. But other people seem to be enjoying it, so it's free food. So the crew have just brought around some drinks. There's orange juice or a chocolate drink, which is a bit of an odd combination, but yeah, I got an orange juice. It's not fresh orange, but it's fine, it's free, which is more than you get on a lot of European airlines these days. So I'm just going to enjoy the rest of this flight. There are some great views of the rainforests as we fly deeper into Borneo, into rural Borneo. So let me tell you a bit more about MASWINGS. So it was founded in 1953 by the colonial government as Borneo Airways, which connected the whole of Borneo. In 2006 and 2007 it became Fly Asian Express to provide the rural air service across Borneo, and then it was merged with Malaysia Airlines. It's now a subsidiary of Malaysian Airlines still, but a process is underway by the Sarawak government to buy out the airline and create a Borneo owned regional airline. And discussions about the fee that the Sarawak government would have to pay are currently ongoing between the Premier of Sarawak and Malaysia Airlines management. They are also considering expanding to international destinations themselves without having to rely on Malaysia Airlines. So who knows, we could see MASWINGS flying the A330 or 787 sometime to Hong Kong or to Bangkok or Singapore. It's an okay rural airline. I'd put it up there with the likes of AirAsia from this experience, but it'll be interesting to see what happens when the Sarawak government takes over. I'll just sit and watch the views from the window, and then I'll see you when we land, and hopefully there's a transfer waiting for us to take us to the resort.
Kita telah mendarat di lapangan terbang Mulu. Sila berada di tempat duduk dan pasangkan saling geledah sehingga tanda isyarat tersebut dipadamkan. Berhati-hati semasa membuka rumput panas di atas dan pastikan barangan anda telah diambil.
So I've just arrived into the tiny airport of Mulu on a grass runway, and I will be getting a transfer to the hotel, and I'll show you around the resort when we get there. It's the most luxurious resort in Borneo apparently, so it should be quite good. So this is the mode of transport that the resort is sent. It's an open-sided truck. It's definitely a new mode of transport for me. When I was in Bangkok, I saw prisoners being transported in one of these. Welcome to the Mulu Marriott Resort here in the wilderness of Borneo. Let's check out the room and then I'll take you on a walk around the resort. I decided to invest in a hat because of the sunburn I got on my face and neck, and somebody in the resort said I look like an Amish man, so I'm an Amish man going to visit some caves. So I'm now on my way to try and find the entrance to the national park, the Gunung Mulu National Park. I don't think I can get lost. It just seems like one big long winding road from the resort, but I really don't want to get lost around here because there's no phone signal. There doesn't seem to be many houses and I can't find a shop either. I've seen a sign to Mulu Airport, so if I do get lost I'll just go there and get the transfer back to the Marriott resort at some point, but it's really hot. I think it's 38 degrees at this point, 2 p.m, so the height of the day, the height of the sun. But yeah, let's keep walking and see how long it takes us to get to the national park. There are also no pavements, so inevitably when a car comes, I'm going to have to jump into a bush to avoid getting run over, especially if a truck comes, like the Marriott Resort transfer bus thing, the prisoner transfer, because this road is not wide enough for that and me, and if two cars come at the same time, then I might have to jump in the river. Another bridge that is not wide enough for a car and a person, so I might have to keep an eye out to see if anything's coming and then run. There are a couple of wooden boats parked up in the river. And the odd wooden shack. Well, that's a cafe, apparently. Parlour Cafe. Evangelical Church of Borneo on my right. I'm not over exaggerating when I say it is scorching hot. My head and my arms are just dripping with sweat, and the hat probably doesn't help. There's something in the trees jumping, but I don't know what it is. There's another dog at the other side of the road. I'm assuming there's stray dogs in Mulu because they don't look very well kept. Hello, doggy. No, he doesn't understand English either. So I've been walking for about 25 minutes now. The temperature is now 39 degrees and the sun is high in the sky, so it's really hot. I haven't seen any life, no cars, no motorbikes. I'm hoping I haven't gone down the wrong road, because I really don't want to get lost here. And somebody's got Malaysian pop music playing, so I can imagine there's life nearby somewhere. So I finally found the national park entrance, accessible by a rickety bridge that swings when you walk on it. So this is the cafe at the national park, and I decided to get an iced tea and spicy toffee with rice. This should fill me up for tonight. So I arrived back at my resort just as the sun was setting. Listened to this noise from the bugs and insects around. In the next video I'll take you on a more in-depth tour of the resort. So make sure you subscribe for that one. So as the light begins to fade and the rain is coming down in the rainforest of Mulu, I thought I would summarise how it was to be flying on MASWINGS earlier today. I'd say the experience was a mix of high and lows. Let's start with the positives. The flight itself offered some spectacular views over dense rainforests and stunning cliffs that you never get to see in an everyday flight. They also provided complimentary sandwiches and drinks, which was a nice touch if you wanted that for a 1.5 hour flight. However, I think that the few drawbacks, and where MASWINGS really needs to learn from the likes of AirAsia, the interior of the aircraft definitely showed signs of wear and tear. It felt a bit tattered and outdated. There was a lot of legroom for a domestic flight, but people were just stuffing bags underneath the seats wherever they could find room. So it was difficult to actually use the legroom that you had when somebody had the suitcase underneath you. And again, the crew weren't exactly the friendliest I've experienced. They didn't smile, they didn't say hello, they didn't say thank you after the flight. They just turned away. And during the flight, they didn't come and do the safety checks either. They didn't check that people were wearing belts before takeoff and landing. And the pilot didn't announce when we were taking off and landing either. to give the crew notice, which I think is illegal under Malaysian law, but it happened. The crew seemed a bit disinterested, which it's not great, but given that they are the only domestic airline within Borneo and the de facto national airline of Borneo, I think I would fly with MASWINGS again. The unbeatable scenery and convenience made it worth the trade-offs, especially for a short regional flight. If you fly with them though, just make sure you go into it expecting the bare minimum. Don't expect luxury, and you'll come out with a positive opinion. So I am going to sign off from the Mulu Marriott Resort here in Mulu, Sarawak. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment if you did, or if you want me to do anything differently next time, and please subscribe, like this video, tell your friends and family, and until next week, or tomorrow for me, when I go to the Mulu National Park caves. Until then, thanks for watching and goodbye.